Hey yo, what's up guys, Justinvels here, and today I'm back with another commentary video, and today we're going to be covering Jujutsu Kaisen Season 4. And you might be thinking, didn't that already come out? And didn't you already not cover that? Just like you didn't cover Dandadan. And to that I have to say, relax. This is the part 2 trailer that they released 2 days ago, so am I late? Yeah, kinda, maybe. But better late than never, right? So without further ado, release the intro! Okay, so if you've been living under a rock already, or not part of the 9 million people who have already seen the trailer, then you would know Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2 for the Culling games has just dropped the trailer. It's kind of weird because Mappa kind of did this at a really weird time. I guess it's like their 15th year anniversary, so they kind of said, hey guys, more JJK projects, which was kind of weird because they kind of announced that during the whole Netflix talk, but this is neither here or there. The trailer is pretty interesting. We saw a couple of things, some stuff to do with Megumi, Yuji, Sukuna, and a lot of my boy Henny. But some things are a bit interesting. There's a lot of potential to this. You see what I did there? There's potential man, you know, because we're about to start talking about Megumi. You didn't wait 8 months for me to post a video for this. I might as well just address the elephant in the room. Is it the atrocious upload schedule? No. Megumi, he's like the main center of this trailer right now, and he's obviously going to be one of the main focuses in part 2. Like, it's so obvious. You can even tell just by the fact that the animation looks so normal until it got to Megumi, and it's like, oh damn, we actually have to like show up for this. So clearly something significant is going to be happening with Megumi, and I'm obviously all here for it. Is he probably going to try and put Maharaga for the 5th time? 100%. This guy is like Grateful Buster's little brother. So of course we're going to be seeing a Big Raga appearance. Am I angry? Hell nah. It's been a while since we've seen Big Raga. He didn't pop it in the last season. I was a bit shocked. You know he's going to have to get his check. We're about to see Maharaga this season. Is bound to happen. Now I will say what really is interesting is the fact that we did get a focus on like the sealing cube. Honestly, if we just don't end up unsealing Gojo this season, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, at this point, Gojo holds 90% of the ratings, let's be honest. But is anyone excited for the Culling games to be explained for the 5th time again? In fact, let me just do a quick head count of all the people who actually understood the rules of the Culling games, because the rules of this Culling games is probably going to be explained 5 different times, and I'm telling you, each time it makes less sense.
When the sun did not rise and the people of the Thebi suffered from heat and this, they prayed to the gods and their mercy. Celestial shit descended from the stars, building the pyramids over the holy of the pharaohs. These pyramid symbols of Egypt's majesty. Hold the divine that power to now flow.
The only time I've understood the Culling games is literally just to do with the point system, which is still a bit finicky, and how the new rule system works, right? That's about it. And then obviously the fact that like we know which each rule gets added, so they're pretty self-explanatory. But oh my goodness, just the base Culling games by itself. Kenjaku, I don't know if he was trying to make a new game of Monopoly or Uno. Even chess is less complicated than this. Honestly, I don't know how we've gotten to a point here where I'm looking at my screen and I'm seeing not 1, not 2, but 4 lines of text hovering my screen, and I don't even know how the Japanese audience even worked that out, because for them it's just multiple rows of text going down. Literally it took up the whole left side of the screen and the right side of the screen, and then they had the audacity to do another frame with more text, and I was like, oh my goodness, how do you expect me to understand this? It's silly. So yeah, Mappa, please, next season it's alright to bring back the narrator to actually explain the Culling games, because nobody understands that. Moving on swiftly, we also did get a slight segment to do with a fight between Choso, Yuki and Kenjaku, and I'm gonna keep it so real. If you've seen this man Kenjaku's face during that scrap, that 2-second scrap that they've already shown, this guy's having the time of his life, and it's safe to say these guys are getting packed. I'm so sorry. These guys might get the Miwa treatment, but worse. This is a 2,000-year-old plus demon. He hasn't had this much fun since the last Itadori he messed with. So at this point, we already know they're about to get packed off. Do I think this is going to be a whole episode, or do you think they're going to do a Principal Yaga and literally just off-screen him? Because some people cared, some people didn't really care, and it shows how many of you guys actually pay attention to the show, because I don't know how that got past a lot of people. I highly doubt this is going to be a whole episode. If it is, I'll be shocked, because there was a Maki sequence that I saw there and I thought, Maki or Choso and Yuki? Yeah, they're going to be giving it to Maki, let's be real. She just had that whole Kill Bill episode like what, 15 weeks ago? 100% they're definitely going to be giving her another budget. I'm pretty sure that episode is probably one of the highest rated episodes in the show, and we're probably about to get another higher rated episode if Gojo comes back. Now to the next thing. We saw my boy the GOAT Kashimo, and to the manga readers out there, yes, I know about the Waffle Man, but I still like Kashimo. I still feel like he's a GOAT, and he's fighting another GOAT. Hakari, 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 Hakari. See the vocals I did there? I know. What was that? I should chill? Alright. Now my only issue with this is that there was no Brazilian funk behind it. Has TikTok fried my brain? Probably. Are they gonna add it? Maybe. Rapper, you already know what to do. Chances are they're just probably gonna give them his own OST. That fight is definitely gonna be half an episode. I guarantee you Kashimo is not getting a full-on episode. Let's be real. If they're gonna be cutting corners like what they did with the first part, probably it is not gonna go down the same way. Now, I will say this, just to wrap it up, by no means should the pacing be worse than what it was in the first part. Now, this is gonna be like a hot take, right? This is a whole Amaterasu take. Whenever I speak to people about this, yeah, sometimes people look at me like I've gone crazy or I've gone mad. But the pacing in season 4, right, part 1, is all over the place, and not in a One Piece sense, in the sense that for once the pacing is way too quick. It's very hard to absorb what's going on, and I don't know if it's a writing issue or if it's a mapper issue. And the reason why I say this is the fact that I do know during the parts in JJK, especially in the manga where this covers the whole thing, the Culling games and beyond, the writing gets a bit iffy, very iffy, to the point where you can lose sleep over it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I will say this as well, Mappa's been doing a good job adapting things one-to-one. Some things have been taken out, some things have been cut short due to episode limitations, which I'm not buying it. I just think all we need to do is just sometimes slow down the pacing. Don't give us a 14 episode count. Go to full 24 episodes if you need to, because doing this whole 12 episode, 14 episode count is not helping. Everything feels too cramped and things can't even flow properly. If you compare that to like season 3 or even like season 2 with the whole hidden inventory arc and everything, it was amazing because you had the hidden inventory arc, then we went into Shibuya and it was fine. It felt like you got 2 seasons in one because the pacing was just that good. So it's not like you can't do it. I don't know, it's weird, and no wonder the director left, because he doesn't want to be involved in that. It's all over the place, and JJK's writing has also had some plot holes which make even less sense after being adapted. For example, Higuruma's my goat. I like Higuruma, I have no problems with him. However, if you've been a lawyer since day one, how on earth could you scrap with Yuji Itadori on even grounds? It doesn't even make any sense. I don't know, I think certain things are going to be popping up like that. I'm not saying there's an animation error, I'm not going to try and say that, oh, the animation is terrible, of course not. I prefer the art style in season 1 and season 2, low-key. In fact, high-key, I'm not even going to lie to you, I felt like the animation style was way more polished. I feel like the simpler aesthetic to go for more frames than actual aesthetics. There's a fine line and balance, of course, but there is some points where it does kind of look like smear frames, just a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, the Sukuna and Maharaga fight in Shibuya kind of showed you can go for the whole smear frames thing. As long as it looks nice, people will say it looks good. If we're gonna go back a couple years, maybe a decade, and we started talking about Naruto versus Pain, the internet broke down and set on fire because people just did not know how to react. And still till this day, people still talk about Naruto versus Pain in a very bad light because people think the animation is terrible. However, it did go for the exact same thing and receive zero backlash. I'm just saying the double standards, okay? Of course, I'm gonna have to compare JJK to Naruto because it's damn near a copy and paste. Emphasis on the near, because we're not there yet, and Naruto's true son is not Boruto, it's Black Clover. I'm gonna stop my ranting right now because you guys are probably thinking he's eating into his monetization time, and to that I say I haven't been monetized yet. I just like yapping too much. But if you like more content like this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And what about the last episodes of Dandadan? You never covered that. Yeah, I'll get around to it. Next video I'll finish it, okay? And yeah, peace.